Hi, folks. I'm coming to you today for this time of devotion and prayer from my front yard. Some of y'all will know that a few weeks ago, our family was fortunate enough to be able to purchase a home here in the Triangle. We're over in Durham, and we were just thrilled to finally be able to do that. And we know what a privilege it is, and we're just really enjoying our new place, and so thankful for it. But y'all will know that moving is a, it's a lot, right? It's a lot, even when it's very good. So we've been, in go mode, packing, moving, unpacking, getting the boxes out of the house, setting up a little bit of new furniture, figuring out where things go, learning how the new appliances work, all the things, setting up the utilities and making sure we have internet and just all the things that go with figuring out the basics of life in a new place. And that's all been very exciting, even as it's been a bit stressful. But mostly it's been really wonderful. But in the midst of all that, we let our yard get a little bit crazy. It looks okay now. It looks, right now in this lighting, it looks really pretty. But we let the grass get really, really tall. Since we were renting before, we did not own a lawnmower or any kind of equipment for the yard. And so we had to kind of research what mower we wanted and purchase it and figure out how to use it and find the time to mow and all of that stuff. So in all of that, it took us, I don't know, 3 weeks or so in the middle of June to finally mow our grass. And so it was really tall. It was maybe, I don't know. No homeowners association would be okay with it. It was maybe 8 inches tall, maybe a foot, something like that. It was very tall. So it looked a little nuts because for us, at least in the first days and weeks, that just could not be our priority. So let's pause on the yard story and talk about how this week at staff meeting, one of my wonderful colleagues brought up an article that he saw about how there's a rise in struggles with mental health issues these days, and how particularly employers are noticing that more and more employees are taking a day here and there, or more than that, taking some time off to deal with mental health issues that have gotten worse recently. And we were talking about that, how we can support each other, how we can support members of the congregation who are struggling. And it got me to thinking about how, during this pandemic, for so long, we've been in crisis mode. We've been, especially at first, we were just in survival mode, just get through the day in the new reality. And how we were often, sort of pushing through discomfort, stress, struggle, missing loved ones, all the things, too much togetherness at home, perhaps, just all the things that we dealt with. And I think in many, many cases we handled it as well as we could, often handling it really well and getting through it and being resilient and all of those things. But now that things are starting to open up more, now that we're doing a bit better, now that things are not back to normal yet, but more things are more like they used to be. Now it seems like it's a time when people can maybe take a breath and realize just how hard all of that was and just how painful all of that was. And some folks who have maybe struggled with depression or anxiety or things like that in the past, maybe the grass has been growing a little bit. Right? We've been handling things inside the house, handling the things that have to happen in order to live, but letting some of the other things go, the things that we can get by with skipping. And it reminds me of that, just the long grass in the front yard. We haven't always had the capacity, the time, the energy, the ability to take care of ourselves in the ways we might need to, in the ways we might want to. And so, while I imagine lots of y'all are doing really well, and I'm thankful for that and joyful about that with you, I imagine a good number of y'all are also struggling a bit these days. The good news is I did get the grass cut. It was tough to do. We our mower, we got a little mower, a little electric guy, and so to get through the grass, we had to really cut it twice. We had to sort of cut it one time with the blade way up high to cut it down a bit, and then put the blade down lower and cut it again to really do the job we wanted to do. So it took longer than it normally would to handle. And I think our mental health might be a bit like that these days. We have really been through a lot, and it's been a long time of a lot of stress. And so it might take a little while for us to get back to our normal baseline. And so if that's you, I just want you to hear that you're not alone, that it's okay, and that, any step you can take to care for yourself or to reach out for care is really, really wonderful. Um, Even now, I'm going to show you some craziness in the yard. Let's see, I don't want to make you dizzy, but I'm going to do it. So, even now, we've handled the main part of the yard, but we don't have any kind of like an edger yet or a weed whacker. I don't know. And so the edges look really crazy. Can you see this? We have like really long grass along the walking path. Um, there's my neighbor's house. Yeah, all along our little walkway is really long. And here, I'll give you a peek at the house. So that's not a very good shot of it, but you get to say hi to it. Um, but even after we start to care for ourselves after a really stressful time, things can still be a little wild around the edges. So even if you feel like you're mostly doing really well and you're taking care of yourself and you're doing what you know how to do, sometimes the edges can still be a little out of hand for a while. So, what does all this have to do with Jesus? This week, this past Sunday in our gospel reading, we heard some healing stories, and they really were meant to show the incredible power of Jesus to heal. In one of them, he heals without even knowing it's happening. It just overflows from him when a woman reaches out and touches his garment. And then in the other story, he heals even when it seems beyond hope. Even when this little girl in the story has died, Jesus is able to raise her up to new life. And so it shows that even when things look completely hopeless, even without really knowing it, Jesus heals us. And so today I want you to know, if you are struggling a whole lot and you got a yard full of weeds, or if you're just a little wild around the edges, Jesus wants that healing for you and for those that you love. We hope that you'll reach out. If that would be helpful to you, we're here to talk, to help you find a good counselor, help you find what you need, to listen, to pray, to walk with you. We got a prayer team that loves to pray for folks and is always doing that. We've got Stephen ministers who are available to walk with you in a more intentional way. The pastors who are, of course, here to talk and pray as well. So we're in this thing together. Even though we're all doing much better these days, it's still kind of a tender time. We're aware of that, and we want you to know that God's in this thing with you. Jesus loves you, and so do we. All right. Bye-bye.